This is pretty simple. I was just thinking that after I've done everything that I've done, which is not really much, but I speak, tell you a story, what I believe, what I think, what I know. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter because I came to the thinking like this. I shall worship he who those he wants to worship. So everywhere you go, we stick out the glove and it says, I'm number one. I'm your number one fan. But it never has a name on it. God never supports a name. Put two and two together, that number one fan must be God. Okay? They say to save himself in the honor of thy name. The great guy God is, the great guy Wayne Gretzky. Gretzky was great, so we know how great he was, and he was the best that there was. So God must be even greater. Wow, we're in for some good big surprises. One was handling the puck on the ice, and he was putting it in on ice. Every time another baby came out, Santa Claus had a red nose because God was always drinking because the babies were always coming. But don't worry, he figured that one out too. He figured he doesn't have to drink and just take like he is. As long as they don't know and he's in his own stable mind, the power to power over us, he is reason and the reason for all, the reason for anything. Thus I look at his name and I go, he's like a gentle flower, our God. A gentle flower, the month of May, the month of flowers. Guy Lafleur, number 10. Why number 10, Guy Lafleur? The four angel, okay, God, and the six together, the spirit angel and the man together. Their numbers reverse, but in all actuality, they always equal to 10 or 11. And unless they're individuals doing things on their own, they're 2 and 5. Okay, unless we're talking that depending if you're in the incubation room, then we know you got to have a number 3 with the number 1 and number 2, put them together for the 3 to get a 6. But in all actuality, when you get that 6, the minute that human being is born, the minute it went into the toaster, 21 days after, there was an egg that hatched. Okay, and that was your spirit. It takes only 21 days in the incubator. It takes a hell of a lot longer down here. There's a lot more to put together than just the yolk. Anyways, if you look at a bird, they're very well put together. They've got big breasts. It's white meat. You get a little dark meat in it. You get both in one. So wouldn't we like to have both in one? He's with her and she's black and he's white. Who the fuck cares? Make them both. If everybody cares, make them both. Make us like cats. Put spots on us. We're all going to be different. No one can say anything at the end once everybody's different. We have to live with the difference. Anyways, thus I think of it something native. Something that was native. The Indian, God is an Indian. He gives. And he takes it back, but he gives it back again. First he puts you on this earth. He gives you an angel spirit. He takes him away. And then he takes you away from life. Then he puts you back up to where you came from to begin with. Right next to where your angel was born, in the incubator. You're going to come out of that. They're either going to splice you, but they're going to take you apart this time from your spirit. Then you're going to have the spirit who's not only the spirit, but it'll be your soulmate. Because she passed all the time you had on earth. And based on an average of living out 54 years, that is. So there's a reason for those numbers, 54, 45, 40, all these numbers. It's all crazy. But God is not an Indian giver like I was listening to this gentleman speaking the other day. He said, oh, Canada, a home in native land? Native? What's that mean, native? Our home and our native land? You mean we took the native land to be our home? Like the Americans took all the states to be their states? Dividing it up with frozen blue means they have no movement in between each state. They can't go from state to state. You got to go to head office. Take away the blue from in between the white of the stars of the American flag. And I was hoping that I can show you one of the pictures I had today. I grew up somewhere. I was thinking, I figured, if the U.S. really wants to do something, they can actually do this to their flag. The bottom one. You see, it says number 11, which means it's spirit and spirit angel. The blue in the middle is the beta mother. And the one is the egg between the two. That'll be the American flag if they move everything together and they want equality. Otherwise, you're looking at this American flag where they're number 1 and the other one's nothing. but it's hidden in the blue, and at least they're all together and not separated with a white line over black. Then what happens if the Americans moved into Israel? Is that what the American flag would look like in Israel? They separated all the blue, eh? Now the blue connects to the top and the bottom through the white and the red. Means they're safe and they're at home. The two white pillars. So that would be a good Israeli flag when they take over the Americans, right? Or do we make it like the Canadian flag? Okay? We all know that the blue is off limits. That's the quarters for the birth of all the eggs. And where you see the two ends or the X's, well, that's part of the Magen David. That's where the eggs turn over. They turn over the two eggs there. One on one side, one on the other side. Okay, and you see those arrows? Well, that's the way that the lavatories are going right now with the eggs. On the eggshells. Just like good old Aldous Huxley said. So that would be the Canadian flag, since we don't like to get in anybody's way. And we pass life right through the beta. The blue is the mother, and the creation is the white. The red is the spirit who were born through our Father, okay? And we live in between our mother and our Father now of creation. And, okay, there's always angels on guard on the outside. You see the purity along the line? Well, this is what a perfect Hebrew flag would look like. This means we know that Zion is not too far away. I mean, you see it says eggs on the top of this? I'm not kidding with you. You ever see what God looks like, the G? It's a C7. The 7 C's of God, or the 7 eyes. Look at your cards. The club, the spade, the heart, all have 2 eyes on the king. The other one only has 1 eye. 7 up. Why? Because of God's from outer space. He's a Martian, he's green, and he's C7, and he split the C's, and he put the C's together for a spade, and he put the C's upside down for a heart, and they turn the one sideways for the club, and then for the diamond, they put the 2 C's together. Instead of going outward, they're going inward. You got the 2 C's. Let me see if I can get it. Here. See those 2 C's? Well, that's actually a diamond. If I want to really show it to you the right way, I put it together. It's a diamond. It's a diamond inside the egg. Don't you know when you find the diamond in the egg? You see, everything turns out to some sort of joke with that, you know? A diamond in the egg means there's a child growing in the egg. That diamond is a representation, okay, if you just bubble it out a little bit, is a representation of his laboratories, of the chickens that he's growing in heaven, that, believe it or not, that you don't even know how we come to earth. In 9 months we grow up to have all these bones and everything. Nobody understands anything because it's all in the science lab. He's got it. And not only that, everything God does. Okay, now you see the diamond in there? That's not the only thing he does. Not because he's the diamond suit. Because the diamond is the actual 2 cubes of heaven, okay, that runs, when we run one angle, they're running another angle, or they run with us, the cores, the way the cores work. I don't want to talk about numbers, it's very late, okay, but it's 2 dice cubes, okay, it's one inside the other one. That's why all these games we play always have 2 dice cubes, okay, because that's how it's all set up. Don't you know the positions on the dice? Don't you know how the north-south works on the dice? You throw them down the table, the opposite numbers, the most of them are on 4 and 3 and 1 and 6 and 2 and 5. And it's north-south the table. Go check the angles of the corners. If you're able to stop the dice in the corners, okay, you wouldn't have that 1 and 6 and 2 and 5 and 3 and 4 anymore. Go check out the roulette wheel. Check the positioning of the roulette wheel. Did I get off on this? The roulette wheel has diamonds on it. Why? Is it just because it is, or that it's the strongest shape, okay, the best shape to use for that kind of game? Well, therefore, if that's a good shape, why shouldn't God use a best shape? You don't think he knows better than us? What, we sneaked it out on him? Why don't you sneak it out? If you can sneak it out on him, you snuck it out on the world. In fact, you're not even with us anymore. Because those who are that smart, they just walk away on these things. They spit at us, at people like us. Okay? Where does the diamond go? What is the triangle? How is a diamond made? Of course, it's the hardest stone that cuts glass, right? So we can break in and break out. Again, you don't think he knows it cuts glass? Oysters are God's a gem. He's the gem star. He's the Jupiter star. Something about that planet Jupiter. I always thought, you know what, that the heaven is inside of us. I didn't know that heaven was in our same universe. Is it inside of us? No, the incubators and hatcheries and everything else is inside. But in one of these planets that might be surrounding us, one of them might just be a spaceship. And maybe not. But the world, okay, is 1 zillion miles across. I mean, I can't even add that up. I don't have the right numbers, but I know it's a huge number. And I'm just using it on my ratio on my paper. Okay? But it so happened they gave me 12 free zeros. They gave me 12 of them, so I knew right away I was in the trillions and zillions already. They gave them free. How? By telling us how many people were supposed to be on this earth in the year 2000 is supposed to end. 6.66 trillion. Divide that by the 9 legs of the cat, you get 7.4 billion. Now, you get 7.4, right. Now what you do is you go ahead and you check out 7.4. Oh my God. A dog's life versus the man, 7.4. 7.4 billion, 7.4. What the hell with the decimals? If you need them, you don't. It's the 7.4 that counts on the left end. Normally it's the 1, 2, 3. You know, you want to take away and throw away the pennies? Well, sometimes you can. The Mayan calendar, 25,625. 25 minutes, we're moving a 0.25, moves 625. So the 0.625 is actually a degree movement of this Earth. The 5,125, okay, which can be calculated in very many ways, okay, but that's a short count, and that's a 1.25 degree turn on this planet, okay, it's a 0.125, excuse me. So the short count and the long count, you might have to put them together because they put the calculations together, so it comes out to 625 and 150 is 750. Okay, so it comes out to the count because the 5 had to be divided because of this point I said. So 5 divided 25 equals 5. Now we have 6 1/4 and 1 1/4 makes 750. That makes the year, the Hebrew calendar, 5,750. It'll be the distance of time of 25 years in 2015 since this year of what I understood to be of 1990. When it meant 1999, it meant the new births that are coming in. It didn't mean the year. It was all the 90s. It was 90, the cat, the vin, and the dis. 91, 90, 91, 92, the summer months, the winter months, 92 days of summer, 91 days of the autumn, and all these elements and numbers, they're just, I mean, you can look at the Z and say it's a Z, but turn that Z sideways and it becomes an N. Now cut it in half and just twist it back, and you see a diamond shape once again. The Z, the N. If you're playing with the square digital numbers, the S, the 5, the 2. Now, what numbers fit into each other, or what letters fit into each other, and how much of? And then what is left over in the letter to create the letter that you're going to use now. Now that you've learned how to transform the letters and numbers, we continue. Now you take these letters over to a game. Let us take the game of pool. So if you have an A, you draw it up on the pool, over and down. We connected exactly 6 pockets, but we connected the center pocket with the crossover. So we went over the second pocket twice. We actually put the ball in that pocket. So that letter, okay, goes in one category. Now we have letters of T. You have to turn the table sideways to write the T. You have the letter I. You have to turn it sideways. You have the letter M. It can only go sideways. You have the letter W. W is creation. T-I-M, time. It's the transfer in the I world, okay, to the umbilical cord. And the M is the man, which is the 1-4 angel connect of the angel, obviously, the neutralize, where again you split apart the N, you turned it around. And all these expressions are all on the roulette table. I haven't done the round where all the numbers are positioned, but every roulette marking you see is an explanation of life. Don't let it go by you this time. Guys, it's good. It's good.